What's up guys, welcome to another video with Dos Bros Travel Adventures, and today we're holding up on the adventures to bring you a DIY project. Because even when you're having fun, things do happen. So in this video we're going to show you if your boat's Bimini frame breaks, how to fix it. Unfortunately it was really windy one day and we were boating and the Bimini frame just broke on us. Or bended I should say, but then it broke. I remember, we're not pros, but it was just a way that solved our problem for us.
So come with us and we'll show you how to fix it.
And these are the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a drill, you're gonna need a pipe cutter, and a pipe sander.
And you're also gonna need drill bits to be able to drill through the tube. And we have this Milwaukee kit that brings a whole bunch of drill bits that can go through almost anything, from metal to concrete. And you will also need this construction adhesive, and we use this brand. And an aluminum tube around this size. And bolts.
And remember guys, just because we're kids doesn't mean that you kids at home can do this without adult supervision. So we're gonna grab the pipe cutter and cut the Bimini frame where it's not bended. Make sure it's where the pole is pretty round. That way the part that's gonna fix it fits right in. And remember that for all the tools that we're gonna use in this project, check in the video description for the link where you can buy them. Everything you need, you can get it at our Amazon store. And if you decide to buy them, you will also be helping us make more videos like this at no extra cost to you.
Alright guys, and once you guys are done cutting the Bimini frame with the pipe cutter, then you will proceed to sand it. Because you gotta make sure that the area where you cut the Bimini frame is pretty smooth, so you gotta sand it pretty well. Make sure you buy the correct pipe sander for your Bimini frame and just leave it as smooth as you can. This will really save you a lot of time on the next step. So make sure you sand it really well, take your time, and the next step will be a lot easier. And in our case for the next step, we had to use the W40 for two things. One was because when the Bimini frame broke in the lake, we had to put some duct tape in it. So in order to take the glue out of the frame, we sprayed some W40, and then you have to clean it out. And then just use a rag and try to clean the glue as much as you can. And then grab some sandpaper and do the same process. Sand it and leave it as smooth as you can for an easy entry for the other part. In the next step, this is where you will need your drill and your drill bites, because you will have to open some holes in your aluminum tube that you bought. And always remember to measure your frame, so when you buy your tube, you know which size you need to buy it. Make sure you hold your tube really good and start really slow, because otherwise your tube might slip to the side and you can either hurt the bite or hurt yourself. So make sure that you go through from one side to the other straight, so that way you can put your bolt later on. Once you are done with both sides, just proceed to check out if it fits and if it slides right in. Make sure that it goes at least halfway through the tube. And if you feel like you need more power, you can also use and tap it with the hammer, but just a little bit so you don't mess up with the tube. But if you don't feel comfortable hitting it with the hammer just a bit, put a towel on it and just kind of tap it slowly. Make sure you don't bend the tube. And once you are done with that, you can try putting in the other side. But in our case, it didn't work because we needed a little more strength to put it in there. Since one of the part was connected to the boat and the other one was still, part of the frame, it was kind of hard to do this. So at the end, we found that it was better to disconnect the frame from one of the sides, and in this case from the boat side. Since it was the smaller part, then, it was going to give us more space to work with. So as this is your case too, just proceed to take the bolt that disconnect the Bimini frame from the side of the boat where it ends. And this will make it a lot easier to be able to push the other side into the other part of the frame. Alright, now for your next step, you can just have one person hold one side of the frame, and then all you have to do is just kind of, try to slide in the other side, put some pressure on it, and it would just go right in. Remember always to spray both of the sides, the inner tube and the outside tube, with some W40. This will make it easier for you to assemble these two parts. It's not easy because it needs to fit pretty tight in order to work. So take your time, and just the next step will be to get your drill, and right where you open the holes on the first tube the first time, just start drilling there again straight up so it goes up next to the other side. So yeah, try to keep it as straight as you can. That way it goes right through to the next side. And then once you have that done, you are ready to put your bolt through it. And then just make sure it's pretty tight once you are done putting your bolt through it. Because just like every bolt that you have in your boat, always make sure you check the bolts that everything is tight on the Bimini frame. Again, in this process, you might need another person to help you. Maybe put a screwdriver on the other side while you tie the bolt. But if you are pretty handy, I'm sure you can do this yourself. And then you will be ready to go to the next step. So just make sure that everything is pretty steady. And the next step will be to put some silicone that is waterproof around the areas where there could be some water getting into the tube. The least thing you want is to have some water go into your Bimini frame. And like I said before, we're not pros. This is just a way that it worked for us, and we wanted to share it. But if you're a pro and you know a better way to do this, always leave positive comments. Helpful comments are always good, to help everybody out. Especially if there are helpful tips, from the pros that know how to do this for a living. Then after that, just clean it up with a wipey. We find it useful to use a wipey because it takes, most of the extra excess away from the pole. And we have found that it helps also, just smooth the area out and cover all the parts that need to be covered, and at the same time help you clean the area. Alright guys, so now let's check out how it looks when it's done, and we're also going to show you a video of 2 years later on how it's standing and how it looks. But let me tell you, it has been working great.
But before, there's a way that you can help us keep making more videos like this. For every DIY video that we do, we always add the products or tools that we use to our Amazon store. And if you decide to buy anything from our store, then it will help us keep making more videos like this, as we will get a small commission and no extra charge to you.
And now let's continue with our DIY project.
Alright guys, so when we first started, this is how we thought it was going to look, and we just placed it in there and then took it apart to put it all together. And this is how it's still standing 2 years later. After a couple of trips to the ocean and some lakes, and sometimes in pretty windy conditions, we took it off, we learned our lesson. As soon as it gets pretty windy, it brings the Bimini down, but it was holding pretty good, and it's been holding pretty good. And we have been enjoying many trips with the family.
But guys, remember that in order to help us keep making more videos like this, don't forget to check out our Those Bros merch store, where you can get some cool merch and accessories for your next vacation. And each buy will give us a small commission, which helps us make more videos like this one. And at the same time, you will be looking cool on your next travel adventure with our vacay mode merch. Vámonos!
That's right guys, and on your next travels, you'll be on vacay mode and ready to go.
And order your merch.
Alright guys, hope this video was helpful, and before you guys leave, check out these other 2 videos on great other DIY projects.
Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Those bros, we out.
Bye bye, brothers. See you next video.